SwimOutlet.com delivers the best online shopping experience. With an extensive selection and the lowest prices, you're guaranteed to find the product you need. Here's what you get. Free shipping on all orders over $49. Free 1 to 2 day shipping on all orders over $99. All orders placed by 6 p.m. ship out the same day. Shop at SwimOutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, August 9th, 2012. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. The 30th Olympic Games is past the halfway point, and before the flame is extinguished, we wanted to give you a look at the history of the Olympic medal dating way back to the early 20th century. Guiding us on this tour is Bruce Wigo, CEO of the International Swimming Hall of Fame, who presided over an exhibit of the medals at the U.S. Olympic Swimming Trials.
Hi, I'm Bruce Wigo, and we're here in the Aqua Zone at the United States Olympic Swimming Trials. And the exhibit that we have here is a collection, the only collection ever exhibited, which shows gold medals from every Olympic Games that the United States has competed in, starting in 1904 through 2008. And right behind me are the earliest medals. The first one, 1904, is actually a national championship medal with a ribbon that connects to a ribbon holder that tells you that it's the Olympic Games from St. Louis at the World Exposition. Next to that is an Olympic medal from 1906. Now, these were considered Olympic Games at the time, the second Athens Olympiad. Today, they're not recognized as the Olympic Games. And that medal there shows Zeus and Nike, the goddess of victory, on the original medal. Now, this medal is identical to the one awarded in 1896, but the United States didn't have any swimmers there. The small medal down in the middle is the most valuable medal in our collection. It is the same medal that was won in 1908 and 1912. It is solid gold, the only 2 years that the gold medals have been of pure gold. And there's very few of those, which makes them very rare and therefore very expensive. That was intended to be the permanent Olympic medal. But after World War I, in Antwerp, Belgium, they came up with another original design, and that's the Victor. 1924, the French in Paris designed their own medal, and that is the Victor helping up the Vanquished. That is Johnny Weissmiller's Olympic gold medal from the 100-meter freestyle. Now we'll walk over to the next part of the exhibit. These are the Olympic medals from 1928 to 1956. The design on each of these medals is identical. It was from a contest at the International Olympic Committee. The one that you're focusing on right now is the 1932 Olympic medal of Buster Crabbe, who was the only American to win an Olympic gold medal in the 1932 Olympic Games, all the other medals belonging to the Japanese. There, the Professor Cassioli of Florence, Italy, was chosen for the design of the permanent medal design for the Olympic Games. That is the goddess Nike, and she is holding a laurel wreath over her head. There's a Grecian vase on her left, also a Roman vase, and then you can also see the outline of the Roman Colosseum. This would be the design that would be used. On the backside, if we go down here, Brent, you can see that there's the victor being carried on the shoulders of other athletes. This medal did not change at all for these Olympic Games from 1928 through 1956. Now we'll head off to the other cabinet with Olympic medals from 1960 through 1980. And again, the Professor Cassioli design was there, but the Romans, and if you see over here, Brent, with the laurel leaf chain, this was the inaugural Olympic medal that had a chain. So we now think that when you're given the victor's gold medal or the medalists on the podium, they drape the medal around their neck. The first time that was done was 1960. Now, Professor Cassioli came from Florence, and the Olympic Games were to be held in Rome in 1960. And the Roman artist community didn't like Cassioli's design, so they petitioned the International Olympic Committee to change the design. The IOC refused, and how they modified it was to add the rim around the medal and the chain. And that set in motion the chains that everyone used. After 60 came 64 in Tokyo. That was repressed because they lost the original hubs for the medal. So that was printed by the Japanese Mint, and it's a very distinctive medal. 1968, over there is Debbie Meyer's medal. She was the first Olympic gold medalist to win 3 individual gold medals in the same Olympic Games. And you can see the modification that the Mexicans did was the little square ribbon holder above it, indicating that's the sport of swimming. So there was one for each of the sports. Down here we go to 1972 down there. That's Dave Edgar's medal. Dave was the fastest short course swimmer in the United States and probably the world at the time. And he was on the 4x100 relay with Mark Spitz. And the front of that remained the same with a Cassioli design. The reverse side had 2 athletes, Roman gods, that were the twin brothers that represented sportsmanship and competition. The next medal is the back. All the backs now after 1992 started to change at the discretion of the host nation. That's John Neighbor's medal, won in the 100-meter backstroke. He won 4 gold medals in Montreal, and that has the laurel wreath with the symbol of the Montreal Olympic Games. Then we come up to this strange medal here in 1980. Of course, the United States did not compete in the Olympic Games in 1980. That is the Congressional Gold Medal that Congress awarded to each of the members of the Summer Olympic team in 1980. Now, a lot of the athletes were so disgusted that the government refused to allow them to compete in Moscow. And this was when Russia invaded, or the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979. So Jimmy Carter, in an effort to get the Russians or the Soviets to withdraw from Afghanistan, threatened to boycott the Olympics. And when they didn't remove their troops within the allotted time, the United States boycotted. That medal is very interesting. The significance really wasn't made known to the members of the Olympic team at the time, but the Congressional Gold Medal was awarded to individuals or groups who have made significant contributions to America. And the first one was awarded in 1787 to George Washington. Subsequent recipients were the Wright brothers and Thomas Edison and General Pershing and the likes of those guys. So it really is something significant. Probably can't replace the Olympic gold medal, but every member of the Olympic team received one of those. Now we go over to the last. Now you'll see one up here that does not have a ribbon, and that belongs to Rowdy Gaines. And why it doesn't have the ribbon is Rowdy gave lots of clinics and he wanted kids to feel and touch his medal, and they dropped it, and it's pretty nicked up. And the medal is, the ribbon has long since been lost, but that's Rowdy's. And again, we still have the Cassioli design there of the Roman theme. Then we go down here to Seoul Olympic Games. That one actually belongs to Greg Louganis, the great 4-time Olympic gold medalist in diving. And again, the backs have changed. The next one is Barcelona, 1992. That one is Summer Sanders, the great 200 flyer individual medalist, and now announcer here at the Olympic trials and at other things. And the back of that also has something symbolic of the Barcelona Olympic Games. Then we go over to Atlanta. This design resembles the one of Tokyo, the way it's drawn out. And that's the first one that has the ribbon which spells out the city and the year of the Olympic Games. And the colors of the ribbon were the colors that were throughout the Olympic venues. It was green. Then we come to Sydney down in 2000. Again, we got the colors on the ribbon that indicate the venue colors. And again, it's the Cassioli Italian design with a slight modification. So it was the theme of Cassioli. Then we go over to Athens in 2004. And now the Greeks had been upset ever since 1928 when Cassioli's design was selected, because Cassioli Romanized them with the interpretation of the goddess Nike without wings. So that was the way the Romans represented her, but the Greek representation of the goddess Nike was with wings. Also, you'll notice down there, Brent, if you go back down to that 2004, that the stadium is no longer the Colosseum, but that is the representation of the original stadium that held the first modern Olympic Games in 1896. So it's a completely different design. And also you'll notice the Olympic rings are on there. The back of that has something from Pliny the Elder talking about victory and sportsmanship go hand in hand with competition. And everything was on the back was written in Greek. Then we come over to Beijing. The front of it was exactly the same. This is now the permanent medal design of the front of the Olympic medals, the Nike and the Greek Olympic Stadium. And now the back, this is the symbol of B, an ancient Chinese piece usually inscribed with a dragon pattern. And the medal was inlaid with jade. And this was also symbolic of sportsmanship and competition and friendliness through competition. So there we have the complete set. This is valued for insurance purposes at almost $500,000. And this is the only time that I am aware that the entire collection of Olympic gold swimming medals from aquatics have been on display in any location. And here we have it in the Aqua Zone in Omaha, Nebraska at the 2012 United States Olympic Trials.
Thanks, Bruce, for all that very interesting history. Bruce will be back tomorrow to give us more Olympic-related history here on the Morning Swim Show. That's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for watching.